Hello, dear listeners. Today, I have a truly special story to share with you, one that arrived in our inbox from a wonderful listener who felt compelled to share this incredible journey of love, loss, and a breathtaking second chance. It's a testament to the enduring power of connection, and it's titled, "She Thought He'd Forgotten Her. Then a Message Arrived That Changed Everything." This is the story of Beatrice Brown and Edward Wilson, whose young hearts first ignited during a vibrant Florida summer. Their connection was instant, intense, a passion that felt destined. But as life often does, it pulled them apart, leaving Beatrice to believe that Edward had, perhaps, forgotten the profound love they once shared. Decades passed, filled with quiet routines and a subtle, persistent ache. But what happens when fate, armed with a simple digital message, decides to rewrite their story in their golden years? I invite you to settle in, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and please share in the comments where you're listening from today. I always love hearing from our global community. The quiet hum of life in Columbus, Ohio, had long settled into a predictable rhythm for Beatrice Brown. Now in her late 60s, her days unfolded with a gentle grace, filled with the comforting routines of gardening, volunteering at the local library, and the quiet companionship of her beloved cat, Mittens. Her home, a charming bungalow nestled on a tree-lined street, was a sanctuary of cherished memories and carefully curated comforts. Yet, beneath the surface of this serene existence, a subtle, persistent ache often lingered, a whisper of a past love, a vibrant summer that had once promised a different kind of forever. Decades had passed since that unforgettable summer in Florida, a season painted with the vivid hues of youth, sun-drenched beaches, and a love so intense it felt like the very air she breathed. She had been a young woman then, full of dreams and an open heart, ready to embrace the world. And then, there was Edward Wilson, with his kind eyes, his infectious laugh, and a spirit that mirrored her own adventurous soul. Their connection had been instantaneous, a powerful current that swept them into a whirlwind of shared moments, whispered secrets under starry skies, and a passion that felt both exhilarating and profoundly destined. Their love had been a symphony of firsts, the first touch that sent shivers down her spine, the first kiss that tasted of salt and longing, the first shared glance that spoke volumes without a single word. It was a love that consumed, a fire that burned with an intensity she had never known, leaving an indelible mark on her soul. Every moment with him was a revelation, a dance of two spirits entwined, discovering the depths of desire and the intoxicating beauty of complete surrender. The memory of his touch, the scent of his skin, the way his gaze could ignite a fire deep within her. These sensations, though distant, still held a potent power, a ghost of a passion that had once defined her very being. As the summer drew to a close, they had promised to keep in touch, to bridge the distance with letters and calls, to nurture the flame that burned so brightly between them. But life, with its unpredictable currents, had intervened. Letters went astray, phone numbers changed, and the vastness of the country seemed to conspire against their young love. Slowly, painfully, the vibrant connection had faded into silence, leaving Beatrice with a heart full of cherished memories and a quiet, unspoken question. Had he forgotten her? Had the intensity of their summer love been just a fleeting dream for him, while for her, it had become the benchmark against which all other affections were measured? Over the years, Beatrice had built a life, found companionship, experienced the gentle ebb and flow of other relationships. But none had ever quite matched the raw, consuming passion she had shared with Edward. That summer love remained a sacred space in her heart, a bittersweet reminder of a connection so profound it felt almost mythical. She had learned to live with the quiet ache, to find contentment in her routines, to believe that some loves, no matter how intense, were simply not meant to last beyond their season. She had come to accept that Edward had likely moved on, built his own life, and perhaps truly forgotten the young woman he had loved by the Florida sea. Her days in Columbus were peaceful, yet sometimes a familiar song on the radio, the scent of salt in the air during a rare coastal visit, or a fleeting image in a movie would transport her back to those sun-drenched days. She would close her eyes and feel the warmth of his hand in hers, hear his laughter carried on the ocean breeze, and remember the intoxicating thrill of their shared intimacy, a physical and emotional bond that had felt utterly complete. The memory was a double-edged sword, beautiful in its vividness, yet painful in its reminder of what was lost. One ordinary Tuesday afternoon, as Beatrice was watering her prize-winning hydrangeas, the familiar chime of her laptop signaled a new email. She rarely received anything beyond newsletters or messages from her children. With a sigh, she wiped her hands and opened the screen. The subject line was simple, almost unassuming. "Hello, Beatrice." The sender's name, however, made her breath catch in her throat, sending a jolt through her entire being. It was a name she hadn't seen in decades, a name that belonged to a past she had carefully, if reluctantly, archived in the deepest corners of her heart. Edward Wilson. Her hands trembled slightly as she clicked open the message. The words that unfolded on the screen were tentative, hopeful, filled with a familiar warmth that instantly transported her back to that Florida summer. He spoke of years of searching, of countless attempts to find her, of a persistent feeling that their story was unfinished. He mentioned mutual friends he had tracked down, old yearbooks he had scoured, and finally, after countless dead ends, a chance encounter on a social media platform that had led him to her. He confessed that he had never forgotten her, not for a single day, and that the memory of their love had remained a guiding light in his own life. A wave of emotions, powerful and overwhelming, washed over Beatrice. Relief, disbelief, a profound sense of wonder, and beneath it all, a familiar, intense warmth began to spread through her chest, a reawakening of a passion she had believed was extinguished forever. The quiet ache in her heart was suddenly replaced by a vibrant, exhilarating throb. He hadn't forgotten her. The thought alone was a revelation, a seismic shift in the landscape of her carefully constructed world. The message ended with a simple, yet profound question. "Would you be willing to talk, Beatrice? After all these years, I still feel something." Beatrice stared at the screen, tears blurring her vision. The world outside her window, the familiar street, the blooming hydrangeas, all seemed to fade into the background. All that existed was the message, the name, and the sudden, undeniable resurgence of a love that had defied time and distance. The intensity of the feeling was breathtaking, a powerful current pulling her back to a past she had thought was lost forever, yet now felt vibrantly, thrillingly alive. Her heart, which had learned to beat with a quiet rhythm of solitude, was now pounding with a fierce, almost youthful urgency, ready to answer the call of a love that had, against all odds, found its way back home. The memory of his touch, the scent of his skin, the way his gaze could ignite a fire deep within her. These sensations, though distant, still held a potent power, a ghost of a passion that had once defined her very being. The quiet hum of Beatrice Brown's life in Columbus, Ohio, had been irrevocably altered. The single, unassuming email from Edward Wilson had acted like a seismic tremor, cracking the carefully constructed edifice of her serene solitude. Her initial shock gave way to a torrent of emotions: disbelief, a profound sense of wonder, and an exhilarating, almost terrifying, rush of recognition. He hadn't forgotten her. The words echoed in her mind, a powerful mantra that dismantled years of quiet resignation. Her response was hesitant at first, a delicate dance of words across the digital divide. She spoke of her life, of the paths she had taken, of the memories of that Florida summer that had never truly faded. Edward's replies were immediate, eager, filled with a warmth that felt achingly familiar. Their exchanges became a lifeline, a bridge spanning decades of silence. They wrote of their lives, their triumphs and heartbreaks, the wisdom gained, and the quiet lessons learned. Each message was a piece of a puzzle, slowly reconstructing the narrative of two lives lived apart, yet always, in some unspoken way, connected. As their digital correspondence deepened, the nostalgia for their youth intertwined with the reality of their present. Beatrice found herself smiling more, a genuine, radiant smile that reached her eyes. She spoke of her gardening, her volunteer work, her children, and the subtle beauty she found in her everyday existence. Edward, in turn, shared stories of his career, his own journey through loss, and the quiet longing he had carried for a connection that felt truly complete. He confessed that no other love had ever quite measured up to the intensity of what they had shared, a sentiment that resonated deep within Beatrice's soul. The reawakening of their connection was not merely intellectual, it was profoundly visceral. With each email, each shared memory, Beatrice felt a familiar warmth spread through her, a tingling sensation that began in her chest and radiated outwards. She remembered the intoxicating thrill of his presence, the way his hand felt in hers, the magnetic pull that had always existed between them. The thought of his kind eyes, his infectious laugh, the very scent of his skin, began to resurface with an astonishing clarity, stirring a deep, almost primal yearning within her. It was a rediscovery of a physical and emotional language she had thought was lost forever, a powerful current of desire that, though unspoken, was undeniably present. Their conversations soon moved beyond text. The first video call was a moment suspended in time. Beatrice, her heart pounding with a mixture of nerves and exhilarating anticipation, saw him for the first time in decades. Time had etched new lines on his face, silvered his hair. But the essence of Edward, the warmth in his eyes, the gentle curve of his smile, was unmistakably the same. And he, in turn, saw in Beatrice not just the passage of years, but the enduring beauty of her spirit, the wisdom in her gaze, and the vibrant spark that had first captivated him. The initial awkwardness quickly dissolved into a comfortable ease, a testament to the profound connection that had always existed between them. They spoke for hours, sharing laughter and tears, catching up on a lifetime of experiences. It was as if no time had passed, yet every moment was imbued with the richness of their individual journeys. Beatrice found herself drawn to the depth of his voice, the way his eyes crinkled when he smiled, the quiet strength that radiated from him. She felt seen, truly seen, in a way she hadn't been in years, and the intensity of this recognition was both comforting and exhilarating. Edward, from his home in a quiet town in Michigan, felt the same powerful pull. He had searched for Beatrice for so long, and now, seeing her face, hearing her voice, confirmed what his heart had always known. She was the one. Her vibrant spirit, her keen intellect, and the enduring warmth of her presence filled a void he hadn't realized was so profound. He found himself captivated by her laughter, by the way her eyes sparkled when she spoke of her passions, by the comfortable silence they could share without needing to fill it with words. He recognized in her a kindred spirit, a soul that understood the complexities of life's journey, and a woman whose memory had never truly faded. The conversations grew longer, more frequent, delving into deeper themes: the nature of love, the meaning of second chances, the courage it takes to open one's heart again after loss. They spoke of the fear of vulnerability, the hesitation that comes with age, the quiet belief that perhaps their time for intense, passionate love had passed. But as they spoke, their eyes would meet through the screen, and in those shared glances, an unspoken truth would emerge. The possibility of a love that was not a faded echo of the past, but a vibrant, new melody, richer and more profound for the lives they had already lived. The physical longing became almost unbearable. The desire to feel his touch, to be held in his arms, to rediscover the intoxicating intimacy they had once shared, grew with each passing day. It was a yearning that transcended mere physical attraction. It was a deep, soul-level craving for the completeness they had found in each other so many years ago. Beatrice felt a fire rekindling within her, a powerful, almost youthful desire that made her heart race with an exhilarating fervor. The thought of his lips on hers, the warmth of his embrace, the sheer joy of being utterly, completely present with him again, consumed her thoughts. Finally, after weeks of intense reconnection, Edward made a proposition, his voice filled with a hopeful tenderness. "Beatrice, I need to see you. I need to know if what I feel, what I believe we still have, is real. Would you allow me to come to Columbus?" Beatrice's heart pounded with a fierce, joyful intensity. The question, simple yet momentous, hung in the air, laden with the weight of decades and the promise of a future. The answer was an undeniable, resounding yes. The quiet rhythm of her solitude had been replaced by a vibrant new melody, a song of second chances, of a love that had found its way back to her, even in her golden years. The intensity of this burgeoning connection, this overwhelming passion, made her feel utterly, gloriously alive, proving that sometimes the most beautiful stories are those that begin when you least expect them, when love knocks again, softly at first, then with an undeniable, heart-accelerating force. The air in Columbus, Ohio, seemed to hum with an almost palpable anticipation as the day of Edward's arrival drew near. For Beatrice Brown, each passing hour was a delicate balance of nervous excitement and a profound, exhilarating hope. Her home, usually a haven of quiet routines, now buzzed with a renewed energy. She meticulously prepared, not just her house, but her heart, for the man who had once been her world and was now, against all odds, returning to it. The thought of seeing him, truly seeing him, after decades, sent shivers of anticipation through her, a potent mix of youthful giddiness and the deep wisdom of a life fully lived. The moment of his arrival at the airport was a blur of emotion. As she spotted him across the bustling terminal, time seemed to dissolve. He was there, Edward, with the same kind eyes, the same gentle smile, though now framed by silver hair and the distinguished lines of age. Their eyes met, and in that instant, all the years, all the distance, all the unspoken questions simply vanished. A powerful current, as strong and undeniable as the Florida tide that had first drawn them together, surged between them. Their embrace was tentative at first, then firm, a silent testament to a connection that had never truly broken. The scent of him, the warmth of his body against hers, the steady beat of his heart. It was all achingly familiar, yet gloriously new. In that embrace, Beatrice felt a profound sense of coming home, a completion she hadn't realized she was missing. The physical longing that had built during their virtual reconnection now found its release, a tender, overwhelming confirmation that the spark, far from being extinguished, had only intensified with time. Their first days together in Columbus were a rediscovery, a delicate dance of shared memories and new experiences. They walked through the vibrant Short North Arts District, hand in hand, marveling at the street art and the bustling energy, their laughter echoing through the charming streets. They explored the historic German village, finding comfort in its quaint brick houses and hidden courtyards, sharing stories of their lives, filling in the blanks of the decades apart. Each shared glance, each brush of their hands, spoke volumes of a love that was not just rekindled, but reborn, richer and more profound for the journey they had both undertaken. The intensity of their connection was undeniable, a powerful undercurrent that ran through every moment. It wasn't merely the nostalgia of youth. It was a deep, mature passion, imbued with the wisdom of experience and a profound gratitude for this second chance. Their intimacy was a revelation, a tender exploration of two souls rediscovering the language of touch, of closeness, of shared vulnerability. It was a slow, deliberate unfolding, each touch a whispered promise, each embrace a testament to the enduring power of their bond. Beatrice found herself marveling at the intensity of her own desire, a fire rekindled by Edward's gentle devotion, a passion that made her heart race with an exhilarating, almost youthful fervor. The physical connection was a beautiful symphony, a harmonious blend of tenderness and an undeniable, potent yearning that felt both familiar and utterly breathtaking. Edward, too, was profoundly moved. Beatrice's spirit, her warmth, her unwavering presence, filled his life with a light he hadn't known he was missing. He found in her a partner who understood the complexities of his past, who celebrated his present, and who looked towards a shared future with an open heart. Her love was a powerful affirmation, a testament to the enduring capacity of the human heart to heal, to open, and to love again, with an intensity that felt both familiar and utterly breathtaking. He felt a completeness he had only dreamed of, a profound sense of belonging that settled deep within his soul. Their families, initially surprised by the sudden, vibrant shift in their parents' lives, quickly witnessed the profound happiness that radiated from Beatrice and Edward. They saw the sparkle in Beatrice's eyes, the renewed spring in her step, the quiet contentment that settled upon Edward's features. They understood that this was not a fleeting romance, but a deep, meaningful connection, a testament to the enduring human need for love and companionship, regardless of age. Their support, though sometimes expressed with a touch of amused wonder, was unwavering, a comforting affirmation that this new chapter was not just welcomed, but celebrated. One evening, as they sat on Beatrice's porch swing, the gentle creak of the wood a soothing rhythm, Edward turned to her, his kind eyes filled with a profound tenderness. He spoke of the years he had spent searching, of the quiet longing for a connection that felt truly complete. He spoke of how Beatrice had filled that void, not just with companionship, but with a love so intense, so overwhelming, that it had reshaped his world. He reached for her hand, his thumb gently stroking her knuckles, a gesture that conveyed a lifetime of devotion. Beatrice's heart swelled with an emotion so powerful, it brought tears to her eyes. The intensity of his words, the depth of his gaze, the warmth of his touch. It was an overwhelming affirmation of a love that had truly knocked again, not just gently, but with a force that had swept away all her doubts and fears. She leaned her head on his shoulder, feeling the steady beat of his heart against hers, a rhythm that now felt perfectly aligned with her own. In that moment, as the last rays of sunlight faded from the Ohio sky and the first stars began to appear, Beatrice knew with a certainty that resonated deep within her soul. This was it. This was the second chance she had never dared to dream of, the profound, overwhelming passion that had found its way back to her, even in her golden years. It was a love that was not just a comforting presence, but an exhilarating, heart-accelerating force, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, to love again, fiercely and completely, proving that even after a heart has been broken and rebuilt, it can still beat with an intensity that feels utterly, gloriously new. The intoxicating intimacy they shared was a beautiful rediscovery, a testament to a bond that transcended time, proving that true passion only deepens with the wisdom of years. The profound certainty that had settled in Beatrice Brown's heart on her porch swing that evening in Columbus had only deepened with each passing day. Edward Wilson was not merely a rekindled memory. He was a vibrant, living presence. The missing piece of a puzzle she hadn't realized was incomplete. Their love, once a delicate thread stretched across decades, had now woven itself into a rich, unbreakable tapestry, stronger and more beautiful for the trials of time and distance. The decision to build a life together was not a question of if, but when and how. Edward, with a heart full of renewed purpose, made the move from Michigan to Ohio, eager to plant new roots in the soil where their second chance had blossomed. Beatrice's charming bungalow, once a sanctuary of quiet solitude, now became a home filled with shared laughter, comfortable silences, and the gentle rhythm of two lives harmoniously intertwined. They merged their worlds, blending cherished possessions, routines, and the quiet habits of a lifetime, creating a space that was uniquely theirs. Their days unfolded with a joyful simplicity, each moment a testament to the profound happiness they had found. They explored Ohio together, from the serene beauty of Hocking Hills to the bustling markets of Cleveland, finding new adventures in familiar landscapes. Edward, a retired architect, found renewed inspiration in Beatrice's passion for gardening, helping her cultivate vibrant new blooms. Beatrice, in turn, discovered a new appreciation for classic literature through Edward's thoughtful recommendations. Their evenings often spent reading aloud to each other by the fireplace, the warmth of the fire mirroring the warmth in their hearts. The intensity of their passion, far from diminishing with age, had only deepened, evolving into a profound and tender intimacy. It was a love that understood the nuances of a glance, the unspoken language of a touch, the comfort of a shared breath in the quiet hours of the night. Their physical connection was a beautiful symphony, a harmonious blend of tenderness, respect, and an undeniable, potent yearning that felt both familiar and utterly breathtaking. Beatrice found herself marveling at the vibrant resurgence of her own desire, a fire rekindled by Edward's gentle devotion, a passion that made her heart race with an exhilarating, almost youthful fervor. It was a testament to the enduring power of their bond, proving that true intimacy only deepens with the wisdom of years, becoming richer, more profound, and exquisitely fulfilling. Their families, now fully integrated, celebrated their union with genuine joy. Children and grandchildren visited frequently, filling the bungalow with laughter and the vibrant energy of multiple generations. Beatrice and Edward, surrounded by their loved ones, often exchanged knowing glances, a silent acknowledgement of the incredible journey that had led them to this moment of profound contentment. Their love story became a quiet inspiration, a living testament to the belief that destiny, though sometimes circuitous, always finds its way. As the seasons turned, painting the Ohio landscape with ever-changing beauty, Beatrice and Edward found a deep peace in their shared existence. They would often sit on their porch swing, watching the world go by, their hands clasped, their hearts full. Beatrice would sometimes recall that long-ago Florida summer, the vibrant hues of youth, the promises whispered under starry skies. And then, she would look at Edward, his profile etched against the setting sun, and know that the love they had found now was not just a memory reawakened, but a glorious culmination, a love that had matured, deepened, and become infinitely more precious. He hadn't forgotten her. The message, arriving like a whisper from the past, had indeed changed everything. It had not only reconnected two souls, but had also reawakened a profound, overwhelming passion that had defied time and distance. It was a love that proved that even after years of quiet solitude, after believing that the most intense chapters of affection were closed, the heart retains an infinite capacity for renewal. For a passion so strong, it feels like a second spring. Beatrice often thought of the quiet ache she had carried for so long, the unspoken question of whether he had truly forgotten her. Now, that ache was replaced by a vibrant, exhilarating throb, a constant reminder of Edward's unwavering presence, his gentle strength, and the intoxicating intimacy they shared. Their love was a living testament to the power of destiny, a beautiful, poetic affirmation that some connections are simply meant to be, regardless of the detours life may take. In their golden years, Beatrice and Edward had found not just companionship, but a profound, overwhelming passion, a love that was both a comforting balm and an exhilarating adventure. It was a love that healed old wounds, renewed spirits, and proved, unequivocally, that it is never too late for a second chance at an intense, heart-accelerating, and utterly glorious love. Their story, etched in the quiet beauty of Ohio, became a timeless melody, a testament to the enduring power of a message that arrived and changed everything, forever. Wasn't Beatrice and Edward's story absolutely captivating? This incredible journey, so generously shared by one of our dear listeners, reminds us that true love, no matter how distant or seemingly lost, possesses an undeniable magnetic force. It teaches us that even after decades, even when we believe a passionate, intense connection is a thing of the past, destiny can intervene, reawakening a flame that burns brighter and more profoundly than ever before, especially in our golden years. Their story is a beautiful testament to the human heart's infinite capacity for renewal, for finding an overwhelming poetic passion that feels utterly, gloriously new. If this story touched your heart, if it stirred a belief in second chances, or reminded you of a love that defied time, please leave a like and share it with someone who needs this message of hope. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced a similar reconnection, or do you believe in a love that can truly transcend time? Subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories about love that defies expectations and proves that the most vibrant chapters of our lives might still be unwritten. Thank you for being part of this community, and a special thank you to our listener for sharing Beatrice and Edward's unforgettable journey with us.